and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. Today we are going along with our planets, and we are in the planet of Venus, and we are going to be examining what herbs that are associated with Venus are all about. So let's just get started with herbs of Venus. Excellent. Herbs of Venus. We are here, and let's just look at I wanted to take it down and break down the correspondences for Venus, because these also kind of equate with the correspondences that associate with most of these herbs. So the element is water, and the deities, and I was so excited. These are the Venus deities associated with, obviously, Aphrodite. But Asherah, Beltis, who is a Babylonian goddess of war as well as of nature. She's considered the mother of gods. And I love this. So there's like this dualness of Venus, and it is this beauty and love, but we get these hints of war goddess, like Aphrodite's like in armor. We get Beltis, who's like associated. So Eros, Erzuli is a voodoo family of Loa associated with water, fluidity, femininity, and feminine bodies. I cannot pronounce that. Let's see. Sanalea. It's an Apache and Navajo great goddess who is called the changing woman or the turquoise woman. She is the self-renewing one and can make herself young again by walking east. She has a whole awesome story, but that's the whole thing, is that she can always become young if she just walks east. She like meets herself on the way. Like she can like
That's cool.
Rewind the clock. Exactly. Freya, Frigg, Hathor, who is the Egyptian goddess of the sky and rules over women, love, and beauty. I can't say this. Ilmatacutli is the Aztec mother goddess. Inanna, Isis, Ishtar, Mari, and Maeve, the fair-haired Irish wolf queen warrior goddess. So again, we get some of that warrior there. And it is Maeve, which is weird. M-E-D-B is Maeve. I remember that. Lalita, who is the Hindu mother goddess. Oshun, Pan, Ketesh is the ancient early Egyptian lady of heaven. Renpet, I didn't even know these goddesses. That's why I was like, I can't just list these. We got to know who they are, right? We're telling stories. Like, I'm just going to list all these like words I don't know. So Renpet is the Egyptian mistress of eternity. I put in Robin Hood. I don't know why I included him. Selket or Serket is the Egyptian goddess of talking and giving breath, and she's depicted with a scorpion. Toret is the pre-dynastic Egyptian hippopotamus deity of childbirth. And of course, Venus.
Nice.
So sorry for my tangent. I even wrote it down. But I was like, all these goddesses are associated with the planet of Venus, and I'm not just going to list them. So
yeah.
So the other things that Venus is associated with is amber, adventuring, emerald, jade, malachite, peridot, rose quartz, and turquoise. So a lot of these are green or pink. It's like the heart chakra stuff. Venus, and of course we get the idea about love and beauty. So the colors: bright pink, emerald, indigo, pale green, rose, sky blue, and spring green. The metals are copper and lodestone. The animals are dove, lynx, sparrow, succubi, and the swan. I know. The astrological sign, and this is pretty important because I think this also like I'd like to peel apart the astrological signs as well, but Libra and Taurus, and they're both very important here. And then the numbers are 3, 5, 6, and 7. And the day of the week is Friday. So there's more. The organs. And I love this because the womb is like a huge organ. So we're going to see Venus herbs over and over again, like dealing with the womb. It's like a big deal. But also skin, hair, kidneys, and throat. The realm is feeling. And the function is a mild expulsion. So the qualities are cold and moist. So now what happens if you have Venus pop up in your chart? Like your Venus, because do you know what your Venus sign is?
Cancer.
Mine's Scorpio. So we're both yeah.
I could definitely see you with a Scorpio Venus for sure.
Good or bad?
Spicy. It's just like
that's the best that you called me spicy. Oh my God, I love it. You are like reading my mind. Oh my gosh. So today in some Facebook group, this is totally another tangent. So in some Facebook group today, people got all butthurt because people were calling other people spicy, right? And I was like, I've been called spicy my whole life. Like I was a little redhead ADHD kid. You think that's not a little spice-taculous? Like you better think twice. Like they were all calling it like that it was like a racial epithet against Asian and Latin women. That both Asian and Latin women felt like spicy was an epithet. And I'm like, wait a second, I get called like spicy. I've always been spicy. You just called me spicy.
Yeah.
Like the whitest whitey ever. Like,
yeah.
Couldn't get it.
Spicy is just like fiery, like energetic, like
yeah.
I don't know, like sexy suave, you know? Very Scorpio. I don't know. Spicy is not a bad thing in my mind.
Either. I was like, spicy's good.
Yeah.
So in your chart, Venus in your chart. So Venus sign in your natal chart expresses how you love, like how you show beauty, how you show affection. It governs all your romantic inclinations and your aesthetic preferences. So I really like lean into some of these, like we'll see very much lean into this Taurus idea, like all these like aesthetic preferences and things like that. Social interactions are the Libra. So we get this like duality there. There are some key aspects of what the Venus sign represents. So first of all, love and relations. Okay, relationships. So it's going to reveal your approach to love, who you find attractive in a partner, how you show affection. It influences the style of your relationship and whether you're like, if you're a more giving person or a reserved person or a more passionate person. Also aesthetics and beauty. So it's going to show your taste in art and fashion. It shows what you find beautiful and how you express it if you're artistic. Your social interaction. So Venus is also influences your social charm, your grace, your diplomacy. Obviously, I've got that stinger that just goes no diplomacy. Once you push me too far, that Venus just comes out. I'm like 0. Go from total diplomacy, like the most diplomatic you could possibly be, to in 2 seconds, the least diplomatic.
Yeah.
So values and desires. Your Venus sign is going to reflect your personal values, what you cherish, what brings you pleasure. It indicates what you desire in life, from your material possessions all the way to your emotional fulfillment. And finally, your self-worth. So your Venus is also going to relate to how you value yourself. And what you value about yourself. So, it influences your confidence in attracting love and abundance as well. So Venus, the goddess, though, because Venus was a goddess. So we have Venus, the planet, but we can't just say, oh, it's just a planet, because Venus is a goddess, and she was the goddess of love, sexuality, and fertility, but she is never a mother. So that's an interesting thing. She's like all these things, but not a mom. Okay. So Venus harkens back to the goddess Aphrodite, and the goddess Aphrodite harkens back to Ishtar, and Ishtar harkens back to Inanna. So we get this like chain of like goddesses that kind of like feed and build off each other and kind of change a little bit, but they are like, it's definitely, they are all related to each other, like lineage wise, like in like who they were in. Yeah. Okay. So again, Venus is a warrior. Okay, she's not just this goddess of beauty and love and sexuality and fertility who's never a mother. She's also a warrior all the way through. There's always a touch of blood at the tip of her spear. Like she's shown often in armor, like we see there. Okay, plants of Venus. So the plants of Venus, there are more plants of Venus than there are any other planet. It encompasses the most abundant of the plants. Plants of Venus are soothing. They're very feminine. They're gentle, even if they're expelling. Like it's a gentle expulsion. They often have a sweet or pleasant or intoxicating smell. They often work by attraction. They are aphrodisiacs, beauty herbs, reproductive herbs, heart or cardiotonics, superfoods, and visionary herbs. So the master list that I have, and I don't know if I'm going to read through these. Maybe I will. No, maybe not. There's a lot of them. So you could just take like a picture, but this is like, I just put together this master list from anywhere I could find it. I just kept adding the herbs anywhere that they said it was an herb of Venus. I just kept adding it. So it's ours and everyone else. So there you go, the master list.
I love Lang Lang. Oh my gosh.
I know, Lang Lang is so good.
So good.
And these are my sources for all of this. And let me stop sharing here. Excellent. So I hope you got a lot from these herbs of Venus and you learned kind of where we have a starting point. And then it's always interesting because what we found with the herbs of the sun and the plants of the sun is that they are actually revealed. As we see them, we see exactly what they do. So it becomes very clear. So that's your call then to join us on the next Ditch Witch Diaries.